Anxiety. As humans, I believe we all suffer from it from time to time. It may be something as simple as setting up your tarp, but for most of us, it's a little more complicated than that. For me, change is a big part of my anxiety, whether that be a change of seasons or a change in direction in life. Anxiety follows me along. But I consider myself really lucky because for some folks, it really consumes their entire life. Now, I know this is a backpacking channel, but sometimes you got to talk about feelings. And today, Mike and I are going to have a little candid discussion about just that anxiety. So, how do we even begin this? We're talking about
Anxiety.
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 What does this topic bring up for you?
Anxiety.
What freaks you out most about the current situation?
About our situation right now?
Yeah.
Family stuff.
In terms
Going
of
back home to Indiana. Family stuff. The stuff that I'm gonna have to I have to deal with while I'm back there. Not the good stuff. Like I should, have some holidays there and stuff, but
yeah.
stuff gives me anxiety.
So, for those of you that don't know, Mike is returning to Indiana as it proved to be a little difficult to find a place to park his camper in the winter. So, he's still rolling with the punches and heading back there. My biggest anxiety, I guess, is
There's a lot of them for both of us.
yeah.
But,
I may not see my kids for a few months. I guess I don't know the status of the housing in the place I'm going. I'm going to Big Bend National Park, and that might be crazy. I don't know the landscape. It looks like a ghost town, literally. And I may have to share a bathroom with two strangers. And traveling there, I'm excited about that, but I'm also kind of freaked out driving 19 hours to Texas. How far do you got to drive?
It's a 15-and-a-half-hour drive, but I've never hauled anything before, and now I'm going to be hauling my camper halfway across the country.
So yeah, we may as a community, I should say, of outdoorsy people or nomads, we may glorify the lifestyle, but in seasonal work, as the seasons change, you kind of scramble to find something to do. Last winter, I was in Wall Drug, and Mike spent a short time there last spring before we moved to the Badlands. And we are departing within the next week to 10 days. So here we are. We're going to have a pizza party tonight. Here's a little teaser. Well, first, actually, what do you feel physically when you have anxiety?
Oh, there's lots of different stuff. It just depends on the levels. There's the increased heart rate. I mean, you know what I mean. Sometimes shortness of breath. It can go all the way to chest pains, and I've had an anxiety attack in the past where it looked like I had a stroke. I've had some pretty serious physical symptoms from panic attacks in the past.
Well, that sounds a bit more complex than what I've experienced, because I guess mine is a lot in my stomach. Kind of feels like nervous stomach, I guess. Not quite nauseated. Not quite have to take a shit. It's hard to describe. But yeah, racing heart. I don't really have chest pains or anything, but I just feel physically uncomfortable, I guess.
Yeah, the physical stuff, the mind just keeps on elevating because my mind makes it worse and worse.
Yeah.
My mind won't stop concentrating on what's wrong.
Like having anxiety about your anxiety?
Wrong. Yeah, exactly. That's something my anxiety is causing. My anxiety makes worse by focusing on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I might not even remember what I was anxious about for a while because I'm so concentrated on what the anxiety did to me. that I forget all about what I was worried about for a little while, and I'm just so focused on just the anxiety itself. It's horrible.
From what I understand, you have lack of oxygen from short breathing. A lot of times with anxiety.
Yeah, you can like what, like hyperventilating?
Yeah, you just usually when your anxiety symptoms are high, you don't breathe. You breathe in more shorter. You
Yeah,
don't take deep breaths,
yeah.
and that's a lack of oxygen that causes a lot of the physical symptoms.
Hmm.
And they say if you can like literally focus on breathing in through your nose, holding it,
Well, yeah, yeah.
breathing out.
I've back when I first started suffering with anxiety, I was told all that stuff,
Yeah,
and drugs too.
it does and it does not work for me.
I didn't like drugs.
But the science is true, I believe, that it's
Yeah.
caused from lack of oxygen, like the stomach and like all the other shit that goes on physically. Your heart racing. So, Mike, does this experience or getting out into nature alleviate those symptoms at all?
If I have physical symptoms, there ain't a whole lot that, besides time, that really does anything for it. Being out here, I wouldn't enjoy it if I was in the middle of a panic attack, anxiety attack. I would not enjoy sitting here. I wouldn't enjoy anywhere where I'm at.
Well, that's brutally honest. So, yeah, I mean, that's the reality sometimes. And time, I guess, is a perfect answer to if things get really bad. I think it does help me a lot, but in certain circumstances, yeah, I can actually create anxiety, I think, to be out here. And I don't know if that's
Thinking
does that
too
have anything to do
much,
with solo or being with somebody? Is
being
it worse
solo.
when you're solo?
I'm more in my head if I'm solo, and that's not a good place for me to be most times. So,
But do you ever find that getting in your head is ever helpful or therapeutic?
oh no, no.
So in other words, there's no cure for Mike other than to just wait it out. Sounds like a psychedelic mushroom trip or something like
Well,
that,
and
except for an awful
I'm not
version
gonna
of it.
take like anti-anxiety medicine, like what the doctor will give you. You know, I'm not taking anything like that. It's
Yeah, I don't know what my stance is on pharmaceuticals. I think if people have tried it and it works for them, that's perfectly fine. But I'm not going to go out of my way. I've tried them before. Have you?
indica is good.
Yeah. The truth, if you smoke the right uh, cannabis strains, specifically indica, it can chill you out a little bit. But
And
have you
yes,
ever taken
I have tried. I was prescribed a
pill?
pharmaceutical anti-anxiety, and I did not like it.
Yeah, I've tried
So
antidepressants, anti-anxiety, and personally, I just never felt like a real effect from it. Whereas, quite frankly, cannabis, you can kind of feel yourself chill out
yeah,
almost
sometimes,
instantaneously.
yeah, sometimes you can instantly chill out, but other times it just depends on the level, I guess. Almost full.
But despite our mixed opinions on maybe what nature does, I think it's something that everybody should maybe consider as an option. And maybe with a friend, because Mike and I don't get overly serious on trail. So maybe it distracts us from any negative thoughts or fears we may have. And I agree with him when I'm out by myself. I think that's probably why I hike more miles too, is because I just keep going. I don't stopping is almost just like,
Hanging out alone at camp.
yeah.
Yeah,
I guess that's our take on anxiety. Hopefully, we can chop it up.
yeah.
Maybe throw in some more.
There's so much that you can't even really explain. Like, what about stuff? How is your anxiety around other people?
Right.
You know, or how you interpret how people think about you. My anxiety has a lot to do with that kind of stuff. Friggin', there's so much. It's like it's an iceberg. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like you've grown in that respect? Do you think you don't? Do you care less about what people think about you?
God, yeah, in a way, but then in other ways, I still some stuff like that really bothers me. Uh, the way I think that people that care about me think about me, which you can even tell me that, like, someone's like, "Oh, no, that's not like how I see you," or blah blah blah. In my head, my anxiety tells me that, yeah, they say that, but that's not true.
Oh,
That kind of stuff.
I guess I get
It
that.
gets deep.
Because I really don't care what strangers think about me.
Oh yeah,
And
that
the older I
no,
get, the less I care about what
no, I
strangers
don't.
do. But I do have a.
I don't care about that at all, about strangers so much. I mean, I'm pretty much just a dirtbag. I don't.
But don't you think that just. I don't know. The advice I always give my kids is like, are you a kind person? I mean, that's like the first place you point your compass is
Well,
you ask yourself that question.
well,
I think
yeah,
you are.
kindness, and you gotta have morality and that kind of stuff. But I don't have to care what people think about me.
Well, don't you think that
I'm
if
kind
you're
because I want to be kind to people.
if you're kind and honest to people, don't you think you could alleviate some of your anxiety by realizing that about yourself?
No way.
I
It
like
makes sense.
myself.
I can say that all I want.
I really
I can say
do.
that I can say it all I want, but once you get deep down into your head, it's friggin' there's like the person that you are that wants to be nice to you, but then there's that person inside in your head that is like totally against you all the time.
Yeah, we all have that inner voice, the negative side, but I think like I keep it simple in the respect that like I like what I do. I like what I do, maybe solo or with somebody. Guess I get more in self pity like on work nights when I don't do anything productive, maybe. But for the most part, it's nice to have everything in common with me. I think that's a big part of why I guess maybe it's hobbies. I don't know. I don't know what the difference between me and you is.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff. Yeah, but I've fucked up a lot of things in my life. As far as like if it's a matter of self forgiveness.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about me?
Well, maybe. You said lots of stuff is different. I think a lot of times because you like dwell on things a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I don't.
I know you don't. Some stuff, but a lot of shit you can just let go.
Yeah.
You're like, eh.
Is this where we get into some sort of a musical?
No.
Break into song?
No.
Skirt! What? That's all for
Okay.
now.
Oh, we gotta sing that song. Put the bear in the back. We gotta both be.
So there you have it. A raw, relatively uncut conversation on anxiety. And if you're scratching your head after that conversation, don't worry. So was I. And that's okay. Because you don't have to know how to cure anxiety. You just have to find some cool ways to alleviate it. Nature being one of them. My humble advice: try new things. And hiking, backpacking, and nature are a good place to start. And don't be afraid to suck at them either. You'll improve on every step of the hike. And maybe most importantly, be yourself, be happy. Thanks for joining us.